over to you, mate. I'll let you take over.
Congratulations, Ben, as well, as you enjoy your moment. You proved everybody wrong.
Listen, we didn't prove anybody wrong. We knew what we could do. And at the end of the day, I just had to go and show it. Like I said, my lifestyle was getting crazy. I was moving at 100 miles an hour. I was messing around. I was doing these things, but Saturday needed to happen to me. And what's happened is it showed the real fighter I am.
But also the manner in which you won tonight. Yeah. Very, very emphatic.
Yeah. I knew I could do it. That's why all that 10 round, 12 round stuff didn't really bother me, because I knew it wouldn't go that long. I probably should have done it. I would have got more money. But that was a boxer issue, and it's nothing to do with me.
You had no remonstration from Liam afterwards, no complaints about the stoppage?
No, he said he's never been hit like that, and fair play. But at the end of the day, like I said, that hatred between us, there was no hatred on my part. I was kind of happy it happened to me, because like I said, it made me, you see me, I wasn't on social media, I wasn't doing things like that. I just stayed away from...
You did your talking in the ring tonight.
That's it. You know, I am humble, but I am flashy, and I thought, you know what, this build up, let my boxing talk for itself.
There was talk in the background about your weight, and are you all right at light heavy or not?
Yeah, I'm great. You know, Andy's a tactician. He said, let's turn up a little bit late. It just ruffles feathers, and that's what we did.
Brilliant, thank you very much. Let me bring you in, Andy. Let me bring you in. How talented, you've only been working with Ben for a little while, although he says it has actually been a little longer. How talented is this guy, and how satisfied are you with the manner in which he won tonight?
Very satisfied. I don't think he could have gone any better, considering the pressure he was under. I think people saw that at the end, and he got a bit carried away with his emotion. But I think it's completely natural. He was elated, but he was crying. He didn't know, just an expression of emotion, but it's totally natural. After considering all he's gone through, the amount of comments and disrespect, and not just people in this day and age, just, you know, writing him off, completely rid him off. He's an Olympic silver medalist. You don't get those for free, you know? And I knew that, and I watched him for all his career. And I reached out to him after the first fight. Come to Ireland, I know what you can do. I know what you're going through, because I've been through the same thing after my first loss. But he couldn't have done any better tonight. Perfect performance. Everything we worked on, he did.
You've transformed Joseph Parker in 9 fights. What can you do with this guy? He's just won his 10th fight by knockout. Where will you be with him if you're with him in 10 fights' time?
Oh, we'll be on. No, he has the talent to be on top of the world. You can take the horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And I can put them through their paces, teach them all I can. They have to live their life when they're not in the gym. They have to be focused. They have to believe in themselves. They have to do the hard work. So it's all down to the fighters, really.
But he's even got that ability to play the heel in a brilliant way, so he's so followed by everyone. Is this guy on his way to being a superstar? Will he fulfill that? Final question.
He will.
Great to see you as always, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers, Andy. Well done.
Gary Day-Davis behind Lee in the ring there in a moment too. Before that, we heard from Ben Whittaker. I'm delighted to say that Troy Deeney has kindly joined us for a brief moment as you were making your way out of Resorts World, mate. You always come to the big fights. Was it Ben that you wanted to come and see tonight?
Yeah, obviously I'm from Birmingham as well, so Sam Egginton, see Big Fraser as well, but just catching up with the local scene, obviously seeing Leon Edwards here and stuff as well, so yeah, just catching up with the guys really.
What did you make of Ben Whittaker?
Spiteful, clinical, but you know the lovely part of it, and Spence could probably talk to this a lot better than me, but the emotion at the end,
yeah,
that bit, that's 6-7 months worth of training, reading all the comments, hearing all the negativity, to then just go, I did it, and you just see that wave come out, but really, really impressive.
And that's it, when the adrenaline's pumping the way that it is, and you get that victory and your back's up against the wall, and we're talking about this in the build-up to this one, it's not a guy who's not even got a loss on his record. You go, if he loses, his career effectively is over at that because of what he stands for and what he is. So those emotions run high, man, and trust me, with those endorphins that are being released, the pressure that he's had, you got to salute that. You go, all right, he get a bit carried away. It happens, but that was a clinical performance, and with the no standing 8 count in the IBF rules, the referee done the right thing, because 10 seconds later, the kid's iced out. He was not coming back, and the momentum of the shots that were going there with Ben Whittaker, he was only going to win the contest.
Listen, it was fantastic from Ben Whittaker, as we've all just been alluding to there. There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders tonight. Yeah, the emotions did spill over at the end, but he came through and he got the job done, which now sets up a beautiful future for him, because there's a lot of nice names in this light heavyweight division that we can start putting him in the mix with.
And you know, the really, if we're being really clear and really critical, everyone's going to think the last fight.
Of course.
I could get him, I could have a chance. So he shouldn't be one that people avoid, because they'll have that feeling if you stick it on his toes, maybe you can get after it. But everything he did tonight was fantastic. I just want to ask you guys' opinion, so I know this is your space, but I was really interested to see how Andy Lee would fit and it would gel. Obviously, we didn't get enough time, but I seen enough in those 2 rounds of the sitting on his punches,
there you go,
having a little bit more respect to keep him off. I think that could be a really dangerous partnership, and Andy Lee is special.
Mate, you've nailed it, because look at what he's done for Joseph Parker. Hamza Shiraz now has come over to that gym. The whole point of Andy Lee's training, he's a cronk fighter, isn't it? Sit down on your shots and let's hurt some people. And if that's what he's going to do for a very, very fast Ben Whittaker, that's a very, very dangerous light heavyweight that we could potentially have in our hands. Don't get me wrong, there's a little bit of work still to do and levels still to go through, but that's exciting to see what he did this evening. What did you make of Big Fraser?
Mate, I literally walked in as he's done the fella, so I was... You know,
it was fast, man. He didn't mess about.
You know as well, because obviously I'm from the area, so you're thinking I could be here in 20 minutes and a little bit of traffic, so then that's come round the back. And as I literally got through here, he's done him, and I hope the other fighter's okay, because as I got to it, he was trying to fight the referee.
Yeah, he's still out.
He was going all over the place. But for Fraser, again, you saw that emotion leave. I think it's really difficult to get across to people that when you're an athlete, yes, we get paid well, yes, we live a glorious lifestyle to many others, but the amount of pressure that's on your shoulders, the negativity, that every comment you read, and if you're a normal person that's driving a van or do whatever listening to this, just imagine when you get 2 or 3 on your comments that you don't like and you get to remove it, times that by 2,000, and have people like us critiquing everything. Just saw Fraser just go, oh, that was so good. And I just spoke to him back there, and he's ready to go again. And I saw your show on Thursday where you asked him that uncomfortable question, but it was a question that needed to be asked, and it was, do you want to do this again? And that's when you know the level of a man, never mind the fighter, the level of man that says, I'll get back in there, no problem.
Could you imagine what he went through there, you know, in that build-up? So we ride 6 months, October the 12th, I saw him at the airport. His career looks like it's done, it's over, his face caved in. He's got to have those sit-down talks with his wife, with his mum, with his dad, with his family. The tears are flowing. Do I box again? Do I not box again? Is my career over? My dream over? All those emotions, taking them into the ring, knowing this could go horribly wrong, and he turns it around. Of course, man, the emotions are going to be through the roof.
Listen, Troy, I'm going to let you get off.
No problem.
You go and enjoy your evening, my man. Gareth Davies is ringside with Ben Shalom. Let's get into him.
I am. I've chased him around the ring while Troy Deeney's giving us commentary for a whole night. Thank you, Troy.
Love you too, Gareth.
Ben Shalom. Never seen you as excited. Promoter, that's probably the most excited I've ever seen you.
You know what it was? Since October the 12th, that night for me, not for everyone involved with Boxer and Fraser and Ben and myself, it was just a horrible night. I went to hospital, I had Eubank, Whittaker and Clark, pretty much my biggest guys in hospital. Fraser, who care about deeply, had a situation which was made me consider whether I wanted to be in the sport. So to see him back tonight and do that, and then Ben, knowing him personally, what he went through, people don't see. It's so sad when you see people trying to tear someone down that you know deeply and fundamentally is such an amazing human being. And the chats that we had to have throughout that period and that he had to have with his family and everything, it was dark.
It's been an emotional time then for you. You sound emotional.
Yeah, because look at the emotion on both Fraser and Ben tonight. This sport will eat you up and chew you out and spit you out, and everyone will jump on you. And the criticism of a 27-year-old boy who has just exploded and doesn't really know what's going on half the time, with millions of followers, can't walk on the street, suddenly getting an almighty lot of criticism. It was just a raw emotion for him, and to see it on his face and to see him, and people will still give him criticism, people still give me criticism. It's not about myself, but for Ben, it's just an emotion. It's that relief for him that we know how good he is. He's going to go to the top of this sport. He's going to, I think, become a unified world champion, and he needed to come through this mentally more than anything.
Well, it was a 2-round fight tonight, wasn't it? The thing is, you did have a lot of flack over 10 or 12 rounds, but I think, and I have to praise you for this, you took a lot of flack for him as well over it all.
Listen, Fraser Clark Wardley won the purse bid. I got got so much flack for that, and ultimately sometimes you have to put yourself before the fighter. And so with Clark Wardley, when it shouldn't have been ordered and it should have never happened, I had to take a lot of then. We made a mistake. It was never for Ben to sort out. I had to step up and be counted, because I know how much pressure these guys are under, and it's just relief. I said to him, you could have saved me a few quid if you told me you were going to do that.
But you know what's happening? I think you're growing, because what you're realising is when you're in the middle of the mire, when you're having rows with other promoters, when the stories are going viral everywhere, when you're being dragged into talkSPORT to speak to Simon Jordan and Jim White all the time, it's making you a bigger figure, and it's making the fights bigger. That's the business.
It is, and I need to actually understand that controversy sells in this business, and
embrace it, brother.
You have to, don't you? So this week has been hectic, it's been crazy, but it's been boxing, and what's happened is it's produced one of the most watched boxing events of the year tonight. And as I say, all props to Ben Whittaker. I know how much he's been through. It's all about Ben Whittaker tonight, and just getting over mentally. This isn't his level. His level is miles above. But what he had to go through mentally tonight, I'm so proud of him. He's an inspiration to everyone around him, honestly.
It's a win-win, isn't it?
Pardon?
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. It's been beautiful.
Thanks for your time as always. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Ben Shalom catching up with Gareth A. Davies there ringside. You can hear the emotion in Ben Shalom's voice there, because as he rightfully pointed out, in Riyadh he had a disastrous night, you know, with one of his main charges in the heavyweight division in Fraser Clark coming up short and maybe having a career-threatening moment. And then you also had the derailing of his big star in Ben Whittaker. But tonight they got that train back on the track and probably aligned it, and now we can start to look to go forward.
Absolutely, that's what they needed to do. That's what we said needed to happen tonight. It weren't just about winning here, it was about making that statement and proving people wrong. You know, there was a lot of doubt out there for him, and I kept saying, only he knows, and if he's got to deal with those demons getting in, it's going to be a tough night for him. If he gets into those later rounds, it's going to be a tough night for him. He dealt with it, he went, he regrouped, he come back. Sometimes something like that can be the moulding of a fighter, and that's exactly what's happened. He talked about that he was mucking around a little bit too much, not focusing on it, maybe thinking he just got to turn up to win. That was the kick up the backside that he needed. Teaming up with Andy Lee, great move, great performance. You know, we saw stuff there. He was controlling the space, taking his time, stabbing down to the body, looking for the opening. He stabbed the left of the body, whipped the right hand over the top, legs done the dance. He set that up, he set traps. It was good work. We didn't know if he could do that in all that short space of time. Listen, well, none of us know that.
On that,
and he answered the question.
On that, I think we've all known that he could do that. It was the deep water scenario. How do you deal with this scenario? All these eyes, all that pressure, all that tension, all the moment. How can you deal with that right now? And he dealt with it.
He did it. He stopped a guy who we all said was going to take him into a grueling 10 rounds.
He dealt with the moment.
It's a win-win for him. And I mean, I'm not surprised. Listen, his family and Andy Lee and his team are saying he wish he hadn't run over to the opposing corner and gesticulated in another fighter's moment of anxiety. But they booed Whittaker out but they didn't boo him out, did they?
No, they didn't, but he'll learn from that, and I'm sure that Andy Lee will lay down the law about that. You know, you work with me, you don't do that at the end of a fight. He was out of order, bang out of order. Yeah. And Andy Lee, I've just shaken hands with Andy Lee and had a quick word with him, and I can guarantee that he will not take that sort of nonsense going forward.
Well, he kind of alluded to that, didn't he, in the post-fight conversation there, John, that this one was an anomaly because of the amount of emotion that was connected to this particular moment. It's not a crime to make a mistake, it's a crime not to learn from those mistakes. He will learn from that particular scenario. He will hopefully, going forward, fight on less emotion. And I think we should now start to get a little bit more excited about Ben Whittaker and what he maybe can offer this light heavyweight division.
And as Spencer said, he set up a shot to finish a fighter. That's what we wanted to see.
Yeah,
and we saw some showboating tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love the showboating.
I'm all in.
We love the drop. We're all in.
I'm all in.
That's it. We are all in with Ben Whittaker. Are we all in with Ben Whittaker?
We're all in.
All four of us in? Are we all in? Four Musketeers?
We are definitely all in.
On Easter Sunday?
We were never not in. We needed the questions answered. Every great fighter has to do that. He's well back on track now. He's not derailed. He's back on course. Let's see him move on.
Absolutely. Listen, we've got a big fight week coming your way this week. It is Eubank Jr. versus Ben. We're going to be across it all over the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. I advise you to subscribe to that channel right now, so therefore you never miss out on any of the content that is coming your way. We are going to get you closer than ever before to probably the most watched fight this year on British soil. From Resorts World in Birmingham, it has been a banger for Boxer on Easter Sunday. We'll catch you next time.